If you go online and search for what makes a man attractive, you'll be buried under an avalanche of advice. Some will tell you to get a six-pack. Others will say you need to be making six figures. And then there are the so-called experts who want to sell you on complex seduction techniques and memorized lines. But when you step back into the real world, you see that the men who are genuinely successful with women, the ones in healthy, happy relationships, often don't have any of those things. This is because the secret to attraction isn't something you buy or something you fake. It's something you become. For years, I was like most guys. I thought it was a transaction. I thought if I was just nice enough, if I gave enough compliments, if I did enough favors, then eventually a woman would see my value. But every attempt ended in frustration. It felt like I was playing a game where I didn't know the rules, until I realized the most important rule of all. You are the game. What I'm about to explain to you is a fundamental shift in mindset. Forget the superficial tips. We're going back to the core principles of human psychology. Listen carefully, because if you truly understand and apply what I'm about to share, your interactions with women will never be the same again. The first and most important statement you must burn into your mind is this: she feels what you feel. Women operate on an emotional, intuitive level that most men simply don't understand. They will never judge you based on your words, your looks, or your job title alone. They will always judge you based on the feelings you generate inside of them, and those feelings are a direct reflection of the feelings you have about yourself. This is why a man who approaches a woman feeling nervous and insecure has an almost 0% chance of success. It doesn't matter how handsome he is or what he says. The woman senses his lack of confidence, his fear of rejection, and it makes her feel uncomfortable and unsafe. She feels his weakness. But if that same man were to approach her feeling calm, relaxed, and confident, as if he belongs there, she will respond in a completely different way. Why? Because he is projecting a different reality. He is projecting strength, and strength is attractive. Your inner world creates your outer world. If you don't feel like you deserve the attention of an attractive woman, you will never get it. You have to fundamentally believe that you are the prize. You have to see yourself as a man that women naturally desire. This isn't about arrogance. It's about deep, unshakable self-worth. When you feel, deep in your bones, that you are a man of value, she will begin to feel it too. Your confidence becomes her comfort. Your certainty becomes her attraction. This leads us directly to the single biggest mistake that 99% of men make. They take the woman they desire and they put her on a pedestal. The moment you place a woman on a pedestal, you have already lost. You have communicated to her, and more importantly to yourself, that you believe she is of higher value than you are. You are now looking up at her, which forces her to look down on you. Attraction can never, ever flow downhill. Think about it. When you put her on a pedestal, what do? You start filtering your words. You become terrified of saying the wrong thing. You go out of your way to impress her, laughing too hard at her jokes, agreeing with everything she says. You are trying to win her approval. This hidden need for her validation is what makes you act unnaturally. The best way to impress a woman is to stop trying to impress her. She has had hundreds of men try to win her over with compliments and favors. It's boring. It's predictable. The moment you stop seeking her approval is the moment you become different. You become a challenge. Consider this scenario. An average guy goes up to a woman at a bar. He says, "Hi, can I buy you a drink?" He is seeking her approval. He is asking for permission to interact with her. Now consider this. A different man walks up and says, with a playful smile, "You look like you have great taste. What's the best drink here? I'm letting you choose one for me." Do you see the difference? The second approach is not a pickup attempt. It's a fun, confident interaction. He isn't trying to win her over. He's assuming she's cool enough to play along. He has flipped the script. He is not seeking her validation. He is implicitly testing for hers. This immediately separates him from every other man she has met that night. This brings us to our next core principle. You must not be attached to the outcome. Imagine you approach a woman and she rejects you. For most men, this is a crushing blow to the ego. It feels devastating. But for a man who truly understands attraction, rejection is meaningless. It is simply a data point. It tells him that they are not a match and nothing more. His self-worth is never on the line. He isn't worried about her reaction because his primary goal is not to get her number. His primary goal is to have fun and express his personality. Let's look at two scenarios again. Guy 1 approaches a woman. He says, "Hello, how are you?" She says, "Go away." The guy is crushed. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry to bother you," and shuffles away with his tail between his legs. His night is ruined. Now let's look at guy 2. He says, "Hello, how are you?" She says, "Go away." He smiles, takes a step back, and says, "Whoa, okay. My mom always told me to be careful. I see what she meant. You have a good night." And he walks away with a laugh, completely unfazed. Who had a better time? Who is in control of his own emotions? When you are indifferent to the outcome, you are free. You are free to be playful, to be bold, to be yourself, because you have nothing to lose. This lack of neediness is incredibly attractive. It signals that you have a life, you have options, and your happiness is not dependent on her or any other woman's approval. You see the world in terms of abundance, not scarcity. Now, let's talk about a concept that is the engine of all attraction: investment. We as humans value what we have to work for. We cherish the things we invest our time, effort, and emotions into. If someone gives you a free ticket to a concert, you might go, or you might not. But if you had to work overtime for a week to afford that ticket, you are definitely going. The same exact principle applies to attraction. The more a woman invests in you, the more she will value you. Most men get this completely backward. They think they have to do all the investing. They buy her dinner, they drive across town for her, they listen to all her problems, they do everything she asks. They make it as easy as possible for her. Then they are completely shocked when she says, "You're such a great friend," and goes back to the guy who treats her with indifference. She prefers the guy who makes her work because she has invested in him. She has spent time thinking about him, trying to figure him out, trying to win his approval. That investment creates her emotional attachment. So how do you get her to invest? You stop making it so easy. This doesn't mean being a jerk. It means creating opportunities for her to contribute. It can be as simple as asking for her opinion. Instead of just telling her about your day, you can ask her for advice on a small problem. You can ask her to help you pick out a new shirt. These are small compliance tests. Every time she says yes to a small request, she is making a small investment. Another powerful way is to create mystery. Don't be an open book she can read in one sitting. Don't tell her your entire life story on the first date. Let her discover you over time. When you are not predictable, she will spend time thinking about you when you're not around. She'll wonder what you're thinking, what you're up to. This mental rumination is one of the most powerful forms of investment. You are occupying her mind, and the more she thinks about you, the more her desire for you will grow. Finally, you must understand that you cannot change who you are to please a woman. A man who changes his opinions, his hobbies, or his lifestyle to match a woman's is like a dead fish in a stream. He has no control, no direction, and he is simply being carried along by her current. By reshaping your life to fit hers, you are sending a clear message. My life is less important than yours. I need to change to be worthy of you. This is the ultimate display of low value. A high-value man has his own principles, his own mission, and his own reality. He is not afraid to disagree with a woman. He is not afraid to say no. If she threatens to leave during an argument, the average guy panics and apologizes for things he doesn't even believe are wrong. A high-value man will calmly say, "If you feel you need to leave, I won't stop you." He is not willing to compromise his core principles to keep someone in his life who doesn't respect them. This is not about being stubborn. It's about having a backbone. It's about knowing your own worth. If she cannot accept you for who you are, then she is not the right woman for you. You don't need to change to fit into her world. If she wants to be with you, she needs to be willing to fit into yours. And there you have it. This is not just a list of tips. This is a new way of being. Stop trying to impress. Stop putting women on a pedestal. Stop being afraid of the outcome. Start believing in your own value. Start building a life that you are proud of. Start seeing yourself as the prize. When you make this internal shift, everything on the outside will change. You will radiate a calm, powerful confidence that cannot be faked, and that is what makes a man truly, irresistibly attractive.